Hello, everybody. It's Helen McConnell here from helenmcconnell.com. And here we are once again doing our weekly tapping with the Courage Cards episode. And just so you know, a little background, the Courage Cards is a deck of oracle cards that was created by Ivana Polonio. She's a friend of mine and sort of a colleague, and she's pretty amazing. Where she gets the inspiration for these things, I haven't gotten there yet. But anyway, so she created this deck, 52 cards, and all the details of how you might get a deck if you want them are in the description below this video. And she and I talked about this, and so we decided we would create a tapping video for each card in the order in which she presented the cards to the public when they were first created. So she gave me the list, and I'm going through the list one per week and sharing them with you. So today's Courage card is called Staying on Self. There's the picture, Staying on Self, with the front of the card. And on the back of the card, which is also here, this is what it says. Your true strength comes from staying rooted in yourself. When you are grounded, you think clearly, communicate with confidence, and resolve issues quickly. But when your energy scatters, overextending, people-pleasing, chasing validation, you lose your center. Tension builds, clarity fades. The next time you feel unsteady, pull your energy back. Reclaim your focus. Stability returns when you stand firmly in yourself. I really like this one. Well, I like all the cards, but this one, this is the way it resonates with me. When I was growing up, we used words like selfish, self-centered, as if everything involving ourself was negative. And in this card, obviously, that's not the case. We have to return to ourself. But that's not a selfish thing to do. That's a loving thing to do. And when we say return to self, it doesn't mean I'm always right and you're always wrong. It just means I'm going to get grounded in my body. I'm going to be grounded here and now. I'm going to be stabilized here and now so that I can think clearly, communicate clearly, and feel confident. I want you to think about that for a little bit. So most of my life I spent being anywhere but here in my body. And I know now that when I get there, when I enter that kind of state, which happens less and less all the time, my brain just goes all over the place. It's like I go into fight or flight response when I'm out of myself. So it's always good to not be in fight or flight unless I have to run from something, which I can't remember the last time I really had to run from something. So we're going to do some tapping around this card. Your true strength comes from staying rooted in yourself. So just take a nice deep breath here. And what does it mean to be rooted in yourself? Well, I can't say I can describe it perfectly, but I know it means being in my body, not out of my body. It means feeling what it feels like to be in my body, noticing what it feels like to be in my body, having clear and concise thinking. This type of, when we're out of this state, when we're in a state of not being in our body, it's usually stress or fear related. And tapping is so great for stress and fear, especially in the moment. So take a nice deep breath and just notice where in your body do you hold those types of fear things. So a situation that comes to mind is at my job, which I do outside of here. Some days I have multiple clients right in a row. We do a type of strength training that takes 20 minutes. And so we book people 20 minutes apart. That's it. So one gets done, we go to the next one. One gets done, we go to the next one. And over the years, I've learned how to do this fairly gracefully, but there were times in the beginning where if I had too many clients right in a row, I'd get really stressed and then I'd start making mistakes. To me, that's a sign of the opposite of clarity. And it feels like fight or flight to me when my brain's all over the place. So if we can just notice that feeling in our body, whatever it feels like to you, and take some deep breaths. And even if I really had to at work in the midst of that kind of sort of pressure, if you will, I can do a little bit of tapping, 10, 20 seconds, and feel so much better. So just tap along with me and notice. Ideally, I want you to think of a situation that you find yourself in any kind of regular basis where you feel like there's so much pressure on me. I feel so stressed. In the recent Olympics, this would have been great. I'm sure some Olympic athletes use this, but a couple people got overly stressed and you saw what happened. They didn't perform well because their mind went off over here somewhere. And then once they had a mistake in their routine, then that it just adds to the stress because they don't know how to bring themselves down. But let's bring it back to you. Think of a situation where you often feel stressed. Is there a work situation, situation at home? Just notice, it doesn't matter. You don't have to tell me what it is. I want you to just become aware of it. And when we tap, we like to bring the negative feelings to the surface because if we don't, they just get suppressed, and suppression isn't healthy. So you just take a deep breath, bring this thing to the surface, to your surface of your awareness. You don't have to do too much about it. Just notice, where do I feel that? For most of us, tension and stress usually happens here between your belly and your chest, but it might be different for you. But this is what we're going to use. Okay, so tap and without saying any words, just tap and focus on this sensation in here, this stress, tension, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and just pay attention to the energy. If a story about it comes up, like I feel this way because my boss, blah, 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 let the story come up, but don't attach to the story. Don't chase the story. Just let it come up. Take a deep breath, and we're going to go around the points with no words. Okay. Continue to breathe into the place where you're holding this stress. And you're going to tap here on the inner eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, under the lower lip. And I'm just tapping sort of reasonably slowly, not too quickly, on the collarbones. Some people go right here for the collarbone, whatever feels good to you. Under the arms, and you probably can't see me, but I'm reaching sort of what I call monkey style. We're reaching under the arms like this. Okay, and then that's one round. Just take a deep breath and sense into, again, go back to whatever thought you were thinking before and notice how intense that anxiousness or stress or whatever, notice the intensity of it now. Might have stayed the same, might have gone down a little bit or a lot, might have gone up. Anything that happens is okay. Movement is really good. Movement of the energy. That's what we're really looking for. So now we're going to add some words to this same routine. Just tap and say, even though I feel this energy in my chest, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay, now we're going to go to the top of the head. This energy down the front of me, on the eyebrow, this energy, side of the eye, from my chest down into my belly, under the eye, this energy under the nose, this stressful energy on the chin. I feel this energy. Collarbone, this energy. Under the arm, this energy. All right, I want you to take a nice deep breath there. So that was 2 rounds, total time of about 2 minutes, maybe. Nice deep breath, and notice if the intensity has gone down at all. For me, I already have noticed a lowering of the intensity. I don't know, I don't even know what had gotten me intensified earlier, but I was definitely feeling it. And now it's been reduced down. Okay, so I want you to really notice. And there's no pressure to make it go down, just notice. And now you know how to do this. You can go back and rewind this a little bit and do those rounds, those 2 rounds, one more time if you're not down like a 3 or less. Okay. And if you're not, just notice what happens. After you've done what would be 4 rounds of tapping, if you don't notice a change at all, I would say stop there and switch your target. You might get more specific about, even though when I think about whatever it is you're thinking about, I feel really anxious. You could say that. Even though when I think about my boss, I feel really anxious. Whatever words you want to use. But what I'm saying here is that generally speaking, for sort of small to medium events, a couple of rounds should start, you should start to notice some shift. And when I say you should, I'm going to say it's pretty standard to start noticing some shifts. If you don't, that's okay. Do it a few times, set it aside, and come back to it. Don't force yourself to tap. And I have clients tell me, I tried to tap until it went away. But then that just adds to your stress. Like, oh my God, I'm tapping on this thing and it's not going away. That takes us away from that place of acceptance. Okay. So, acceptance of whatever we're feeling is a big part of tapping and feeling better. Accept where you're at. Okay, that's enough on that. I hope you find that helpful, and we'll see you again next week when we do another tapping for courage cards. Thanks for joining us.